Was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
Welcome back to the Hishaku Hideout, a weekly podcast where we talk about the latest chapter and everything Kagurabachi. I'm here with Dice.
Yo.
And today we have our very first community guest episode. It's our homie, and just to say it, I think the community's pretty shitty if this is our first guest. Jello, the homie. What's up, bro?
How's it going, bro?
Damn, take a shot off the dog. Nah,
what
Jello's,
an intro.
yeah, Jello's the homie though. But this is the first community guest episode. Ain't nothing special about this one. Same as every other episode. We'll just hop into the chapter and have a chill conversation. But you good today?
Yeah, having fun, bro. Great chapter. I'm looking forward to the convo.
Hell yeah.
Bet. Dice, how are you today? Not that I care too much, but
It's been
damn.
a shitty day, Tiberius. It's been a shitty. I'm just kidding, man. Banger chapter. We're ready to get into it.
Facts. And we even see, we start with a flashback. It's always good to see that Kunishige flashback. Those panels always, resonate. And we see Chihiro's reading a book. Akamura Soga's, profile, I guess his, character breakdowns in there. That's the wiki. And Kunishige's just staring at the fishbowl. Which, this is also telling, because they got the fish, right before he died. So this motherfucker had Chihiro doing homework on his Funkle Soga right before he died. That's crazy. That just hit me. Because, I didn't even, think about that when I first read the chapter. I just noticed the fishbowl's underneath the narration panel.
Yeah,
Well,
and it's...
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jello.
Yeah, sorry, bro. I didn't know you were going in. I honestly didn't see the fishbowl before you mentioned it. It's so hidden. Can't fucking see it.
Yeah, it's behind the text box. The text box. It's a good point. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't actually peep the fishbowl either. But now that you bring it up, Tiberius, it makes a lot of sense for him to kind of dodge Chihiro's question and kind of lose himself looking at the fishbowl, right? Because obviously we know what N10 is all about, and the fish are very well connected to N10. So that is a very nice detail. Again, how he's dodging Chihiro's question. And Chihiro kind of picks, he takes the hint and he's okay, I won't ask him anymore. And yeah, and then we see Shiba taking a break.
Bro, this is
Shiba shitting himself.
chapter for me. All my favorite characters are getting punked here. This is mental.
His ass
facts.
is not
This dude-
pulling up.
Yeah, his ass is sat, literally. He's still at the train station. Bro, just go to the bathroom. You'd be doing the same thing you're doing right there, but at least you're not doing it in public. Have some decency, Shiba. Bro's if I get up, everyone's gonna know I shit myself. Oh, at least he could teleport, though. That's it, the boys dodging strays. But, I mean, going back to the flashback real quick, though. I don't know, now that I'm sat thinking about that fish thing, and we know that he got the fish a little bit before he died. Right before he died too, if I remember correctly, a couple days or something. Or maybe I'm just misremembering, but that just kind of hit me. Then we just going back to the actual fight with Soga, though. We get the continuation from where we left off. Chihiro's shitting himself as well. Talking about how fast Soga is, saying it's a sword master. And then we get he even just straight out starts talking to Chihiro about oh, you don't know me? you have no idea who I am? But he was aware of what was going around the Magatsumi, even though he was locked up. So he was well aware of the whole a hazy version of what was going around the sword at all times. Which we kind of expected that to some degree.
Yeah, and again, he kind of continues with what was his question last chapter about why his father sealed away the enchanted blades. Obviously, before that, it's kind of Soga being Soga. We talked a little bit again last episode of how he seemed to be a very kind of charismatic character. He seemed to be kind of funny and really nonchalant despite what he's about.
Chill guy.
Yeah, he's just a chill guy, right? No, but, you know, like, he's really straightforward. He tells Chihiro, I'm your uncle, I'm your mother's younger brother. And, you know, super casually. And then they get into, like, the Shikoku and the malediction stuff. We see a bit of his reasoning behind why he did what he did. You know, he considers the children of Shikoku to have been indoctrinated with their same teachings, right? The same teachings of the invaders. So it's like it's a little bit of lore that we get from Soga's perspective, of course, of Shikoku, right? So I wonder what are these teachings that he's talking about, and how deep Hokazono may or may not go into it in the future, right? So, you know, he's clear about like why he did what he did. He says he killed his enemies, and then he asked Chihiro why a new blade, right? Why would Kunishige forge a new blade? And his reaction to Chihiro's answer is personally my favorite part of this whole chapter, because we talked a lot about it again last episode, and it's almost like he's offended, right, by the presence of Enten. And I told you that I felt like he was gonna be like disgusted at Chihiro and what Kunishige did. So yeah,
Dice, I just feel like this entire conversation is so interesting because he's essentially just justifying his crimes here. He just paints everyone with the same brush, like, well, if the adults on the island had this kind of approach to us, then definitely the kids had the same approach to us. He just simplified the entire situation, and I'm curious if it's kind of a way of like coping with what he actually did. Maybe kind of like sits on his consciousness a little bit, and he just tries to like push it away, escape from all the crimes he committed, or he just genuinely doesn't care. And I'm kind of conflicted on this. I don't really know which one it is. It could be both, technically speaking, but also, as you said, with his approach to Anthem being created, his reaction is absolutely priceless here.
You know when like you tell somebody something they don't want to hear. My bad, Jello.
No, you're good.
Like, you know when you tell somebody something that they don't want to hear, and you just hear them go.
Yeah,
he just go.
It's like he took a massive sigh, bro. Honestly.
Yeah, he's like, and I took that with offense. He's like, I took that with offense.
It's like you can feel the silence in the panel, like literally, bro. It's so cool, man. It's so cool.
He definitely cooked with like the presentation there, and like just the execution of the moment. Like, he set the tone and the atmosphere really well, because it feels like chilling. This whole moment feels chilling.
Yeah, and it kind of like sets up the conflict of ideologies here very well as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you know, like how you're talking about like just painting everyone with one brush. Like, that's a good point, and it's like, I think it's a good parallel to you know, Shugen from Hell's Paradise. An extreme sense of justice, to the point where he believes if like rooting the mafia also means killing their whole bloodline. Because like, and that's just like someone like a mafia type setting, you know, not like a whole island nation that has a different biology than us. He's like, you know, on extreme mode, like, yeah, they're all the same. They all come from the same beliefs. The kids will grow up to attack us, so I just got rid of the problem before, you know, it became a problem. And I mean,
it's funny
obviously,
how you mentioned Shugen, because your mind went to Shugen, my mind went to Eren Yeager from Attack on Titan when he was speaking to Historia about, in order to get rid of hatred, you have to just bury the entire civilization. This is the same thing here. He's just so lost in his conviction here. He'll just slaughter anybody. Nothing matters
toxic
anymore.
Judgment. But let's just say, man, I ain't gonna lie. For a second there, he was kind of selling me as the funkle, the fun uncle. That boy put his sword underneath his arm, and he's like, "You about this big?" He's like, "I'm your mother's younger brother. I'm closer to your age, bro." He's like, "You want to go ride a skateboard and listen to hip hop music?" Yeah, it's like that type shit. But dog, I ain't gonna lie to you though, man. Like, considering like what he just did, and then he's just like a flip of a switch. Like, that's what's so scary about it. He was like with Samura. He was like, "Yo, you look pretty cool, Samura. Catch this slash." Then he's goes here and he's like, yo, bro. He holds a sword up to Chihiro, by the way. That's how this started. And then he's like, I'm your uncle. It's like, bro, didn't you just hold me up with a sword? It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, and I really like how he poses the question to Chihiro. He says, sorry to bombard you with questions, right? And like he says, okay, so like the malediction was wrong and he did what he did. Was that the correct choice? And I love, again, Chihiro's reaction, because before Chihiro can even reply, or we don't know if he just doesn't have a reply by his eyes and the looks of it, Soga says obviously what he believes, which is like, no. And then
no.
The enchantment...
He answered your question.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
And this next panel, I feel like the English translation is a bit of a missed opportunity, because it says, the enchanted blades have a mission to eradicate evil and protect the vulnerable. And I feel like I might be wrong, because obviously I haven't seen the Japanese kanji, but I feel like this is a direct callback to what Samura has said in the past about rooting out evil and protecting the weak. And I wonder if this was like a motto or a code that Kunishige and all blade bearers had back in the Seiti War about, the blades, the katanas being, necessary to root out evil and protect the weak, because he says that. Obviously he has a very twisted perception of it, as we'll continue to see in this chapter, but I thought it was very cool, and I can't help but feel that it had to have been intentional from Hokuzono's part. I may be wrong, of course.
Let me ask you one question, and now I'll get Jello's opinion on that. But
yeah,
if you did see the Japanese kanji dice, what would that change for you? Would you be able to read it?
Well, I can at least see if they're the same.
I'm playing. Now, you were cooking, by the way, though, because I forgot about that Samura panel. Jello, what you think about that, though?
Yeah, I completely forgot about that as well. And it's so good I brought it up, because, and I honestly speaking, I think he's right. I think if it wasn't the government,
I'm just kidding. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Cut the mic. No, it's
because it was either their ideology or what the government told them to think. Probably it was the kind of like a motto or ideology they all went through. But
yeah, I mean, it's like a requirement. Like that's like the mission statement for the enchanted blade wielders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's like, to give your blade. He's like, your mission is to da 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 da.
Because that's probably what started us, right? They got invaded and we have to fight back. But of course, he took it 20 steps further than he should have.
He's like, wait, you said eradicate? That word eradicate sounds hard.
Yeah. Bro
like
said, let me go another one.
He extremely focused on just the eradication part.
Bro,
like,
put the slider all the way up.
Yeah, eradicate 100.
Do you guys remember if it was stated that they killed all of the soldiers from the island? It was stated previously that they killed the entire fighting force from the island.
No, they wiped everybody out. They pushed them back to the island.
The peace treaty, because I'm wondering if there were still some warriors left on the island after
they had
signed
to
the
be.
peace treaty.
Yeah,
could be. Or I guess they didn't have to be, but I mean, I would probably think that they didn't wipe out their extreme fighting force, because then there would be no point for a treaty. We already won, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, it could. But that's the thing with war; you just never really know. It could be like, it's like a unique world-changing event when a war happens. That's like each differently functions a bit differently than the last one.
Because I'll say one thing, like in regards to this, and we can kind of it'll be relevant to what we're about to get into with the what Soga says about the Sazanami clan. But a lot of people have theorized of that because the massacre of the Kyonagi clan seems to potentially align with the people from Shikoku being wiped out, that that they could be from Shikoku. I don't know exactly how that makes sense.
No, I don't think so.
I take that back, actually.
Yeah, the clan got massacred after the war was over.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was that like there could potentially be like one or two people from Shikoku, like maybe like lost in Japan, just kind of in hiding. I was gonna use Char as a potential example, but yeah, you're right. I take that up. I take that back. That doesn't really align or make sense.
the massacre of the clan probably happened because the enchanted blades weren't out being used. Like, or at least from Yura's perspective, you know, like, because they were probably in, like, an area close to where there was, like, a fight. So, like, sorcerers were a little bit going savage over there. Like, causing crimes. And if there was a time to strike, right after war, the enchanted blades are now sealed. That's probably crime really, like, skyrocketed up. You know what I mean? That would be the perfect time because there's so much, like, the post-war efforts are, like, so, like, massively important and heavy just to get the economy back, and, like, it's a tough thing, Yeah. So
I was just gonna say real quick that now that I think about it, I mean, it still could be plausible because the one who escaped was the mom, and she could have somehow made it overseas. I do agree with you. It's way more likely that the Kyonagi clan massacre is actually a result of what you said, like the absence of the blades, and it would align with like Yura's point and whole motivation. I do kind of like that more. But also we kind of got to keep in mind that the blood of the Kyonagi was stated to help stabilize Datanseki. Now, we were told that it was for certain reasons, but like a lot of things in Kagurabachi, it could have just been the cover-up. So I'm just kind of keeping that door open of how there could be kind of like situations like that, individuals in Japan. Because yes, it has been like vaguely stated that the people from Shikoku were wiped out, but it's never like really addressed if there were any refugees or any of the sort. But who knows if it'll ever even be relevant, honestly. I'm just...
Soga is probably like, I can smell them in the air where they at.
Bro,
like,
them out.
Because we see with Hakra, he's like, oh, by the way, don't think I forgot.
Oh my god.
That twink in there, gotta go.
Bro's got radar in his head.
Let's talk about that.
He got bigot radar. He's a bigot. He's a crazy
bigot radar.
Y'all could talk before y'all jump to the Sazanami thing. Y'all touch on the Chihiro talking about like wondering why didn't anyone tell me I was related to the sword master, like saying at first he was upset, but then it made sense, and he even brings up that he's glad he didn't know about him, and how he just kind of like he kind of answers a question that we all thought, like, how's Chihiro gonna like move knowing that he's related to him? And basically Chihiro just like answers it in one page, and he's like, none of those things matter now. How y'all feel about that?
No, it makes perfect sense to me. He was always like sticking with his dad's ideals, right? And his uncle, whether they're related or not, he's the exact opposite of his dad's ideals and everything his dad taught him throughout the years. So from his perspective, his uncle is essentially just pissing on his dad's grave right now. So I'm not surprised he hates him. Just honestly, it just makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, I've embraced Chihiro being like a very resolved character that has very thick skin, and even when things do get to him, he does a very good job of staying focused on what he needs to do. So before, I used to be like a bit disappointed because I was expecting certain things from him as a main character, and I've just kind of started to put my expectations aside and enjoy things like what I brought up earlier in terms of like him not having an answer to Soga's question. Like I enjoy that enough. Like Chihiro being resolved to like having the conviction to like still unsheath his sword and like stand opposite to Soga next to Samura, willing to take him on. That's very consistent with who Chihiro has been so far. So I don't like feel any particular way about it, right? I do wonder, after this whole thing, how he'll come to terms and like what we'll see in regards to, again, Soga's question, because I do think it would be a very I just think that's a very good thing to touch on in this story more and more and chip at and see like what it brings out of Chihiro as a character and Soga as a villain as well. I have some kind of mixed feelings on Soga after this chapter, but we can kind of get into it later.
If I could just add to your point, guys, I wonder what would happen to Chihiro if Soga starts saying some bad things about his dad or crimes his dad committed throughout the war. I just wonder what kind of scenario
on a baby.
Yeah.
Your dad kicked a dog when he was 10.
Tell him.
Yeah, Jello, that's a good point because again, imagine that was their code. They all had the code of like root out evil and protect the weak. In fact, when Samura, if you go back and you look at that page, when Samura says that, like when he says that line, he says it in the context of, in the context, I'm sorry, of like if he is to wield the blade, the enchanted blade again, Tobi Muni again, in Rokuhira's name, he is to root out evil and protect the weak. That's literally what he said. So imagine this was like a motto that Kunishige himself, like, you know, carried, right?
Yeah.
Or came up with. If this was like, and if his way of again eradicating evil and protecting the weak 18 years ago was not what he sees it like 18 years later when he's a father, you know. And if that's the case, then I've said it before, like that's what I'm here with. And how will Chihiro come to terms with that? I believe he'll still like understand that his father grew and evolved as a person, because that's actually, it's very similar to what we've seen from Chihiro. Chihiro started this journey on a quest of revenge, and yeah, he's still holding on to that, but it's turned into something bigger. You know, it would be very similar if Kunishige kind of went through something similar, obviously under very different circumstances, but a similar arc nonetheless. So I think you might be onto something, Jello.
Yeah, because it's not just, as you pointed out, it's not just revenge anymore for him now. It's about to... there's more meaning to his mission now.
Yep.
It kind of evolved throughout the series. So I think, considering the context of the situation his dad was in, he would probably maybe be a little bit disappointed, but most likely understanding of what kind of circumstances his dad was in back in the day.
Exactly.
I mean, we still need a lot more on the sword bearers, but
yes,
from the sword bearers we've seen and like how Shiba is with Kunishige, I personally like. I mean, this is just me how I sit thinking about like how Kunishige was. I think Kunishige may have been just a bit more like just objective about it, and not, you know, like that credo or whatever. Like, I think Kunishige's heart was always in the right place. And I mean, I'm not saying that y'all are saying otherwise, but more just along the lines of like the time of war they had, like, and Soga just kind of sitting on the word of like, you know, taking Kunishige's word as like a matter of fact, like all evil must be eradicated. And maybe he, you know, since he's his brother-in-law, they've had like different conversations than the other sword bearers. So Soga carries the weight of his words a little heavier, you know, and they, you know, maybe like I said, maybe Kunishige lost his wife in the war, you know, that whole thing, or well, no, we know because Chihiro was given birthright, but at the end of the war,
yeah.
But the but I don't know, man, because it's so like a nebulous thing, like my thoughts go everywhere when I think about Kunishige and how he could have been. But I kind of just lean on the things of like he's more objective about that, like the creation of the blades, and I don't think there's as much passion. Like maybe I don't even want to say that. I'm just yapping. But basically, I think Kunishige is just a bit more like straightforward about it, like cut and cold, like black and white about the matter. Like we need these things, use these to go win the war. And I think it's Soga himself just kind of evolved, like himself. He kind of like weighed those words a little heavier than the rest did, because we see Uruha and Samura, they're all good people, like they have good hearts, you know what I mean? And even Ibiki Misaka, like he lost the will to fight after the war, probably from fighting Soga. You know, like that probably took it out of him. And the fact of like what the Soga's enchanted blade did and all that, and I think like the other enchanted blade wielders are gonna have like good hearts. So I think it's more just like Soga is just like he got hung up on the words a little different than the others, like a strong sense of justice. Because it also calls back to like in the first page of this chapter where Kunishige says, you know, it's just as it says right there. Like it probably says good, like it paints Soga in a good light, obviously. Oh, strong sense of justice. He fought for our country. Those things are all true. It's just he took it to a toxic level. And Kunishige feels bad about that.
Yeah, well, we also know what I believe it was Samura, exactly, like his narration, his thoughts that said that it was the war that changed something within Soga. And again, I want to get a bit later. I want to get into more a bit later when we start getting to like Hakuri. But I am wondering if it wasn't necessarily the war and more Magatsumi. And again, this kind of goes back to all like the other theories of Magatsumi and the toxicity and it possibly being sentient. So I just kind of want to bring that up because it is relevant, and with you know how we see kind of Soga being willing to just, like you said, like kill Hakuri. I'll let you kind of get into that, but yeah, I think there's some stuff here that's like beyond what it might seem on the surface.
Yeah, I mean the whole war, that whole like device in this story, it's always something deeper. You know, it's not always what it seems. Some things are straightforward, and a lot of times we think things are deeper than they are, but Hokusono just goes a more straightforward approach with it. You know?
That's
but
true.
I think what we're seeing here at the end of this chapter, well, not the very end, but with the Hakuri thing, it's really like a battle of conviction. Chihiro versus Soga. Like Soga is like absolute in his resolve. Like he even says, I will kill anyone who stands in the way. Like he believes something's evil, they need to get uprooted. And you know, like Chihiro, that means you, homie. Like don't stand in my way. Like so it's just a battle of conviction, and you know, like that's Chihiro's not that rock solid yet. You know what I mean? He's still learning a lot of new information on his journey. Like his life has been turned upside down, and through this journey, there's been no balance. Like for him as an individual, as a young man, you know, it's like all these things, these lies, truths being withheld from him for like his benefit, truths being withheld, you know, that aren't for his benefit. Like it's just he has to question so many things on his journey. So it's understandable for him not to be as like rock solid and absolute as Soga is, you know, just because like, you know, especially their experiences.
Yeah, he's kind of just like thrown in the middle of all of it, right? And it's not an easy situation to navigate in. But I just want to point out one thing, because Dice spoke about the Magatsumi corrupting Soga, and I'm just thinking, because Magatsumi is the strongest blade, right? And Kunishige knew it was the strongest blade, and he knew the kind of ideology his brother-in-law was going with, and he still gave him the strongest blade. Of course, my goat here, who came back from the dead, says it was the war that changed Soga.
I just
But
pulled
at
a
the same
Soga.
time, I don't think I kind of believe it, because it's like if you spend so much time with your brother-in-law or brother, whatever the translation says, you kind of get to learn who this guy is ideologically, right? And you know,
Well, like they said, you know, something changed with him. Like wielding the Magatsumi might have required a strong sense of justice. Like that was the only way you could wield that blade. Because remember, he personally chose with those eyes which person was like suited for each blade. So you might have needed a strong sense of justice just to be able to wield it. And then during the war, that's when it became something that even he couldn't fathom. You know what I mean? Or at least that's like a headcanon. I think it's pretty solid.
I'm with you, especially on like that last point. I do agree that there's a good chance that the Magatsumi ended up being even more powerful than like what Kunishige originally imagined. I think he already knew that it was like extremely like powerful and just on a different level compared to the other blades, because even if it was the first blade or the last blade that was forged, it didn't come into play until like it had to. You know, Japan, like the war was at a stalemate, and that was the one that broke it. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kunishige like wanted to avoid handing it out and was forced to do so, and so he gave it to like the person he trusted the most, because like you said, like in terms of mental fortitude, nobody was on Soga's level. So whatever like the Magatsumi was about, he thought Soga could control it. And again, this is just a theory. This might all be Soga, because one thing I do want to say is like what I also enjoy about Soga, even if I am kind of like 50-50 on him being like so willing to just kill like innocents, because it's one thing to do it like with Shikoku, where like you could argue that just like he said that the people from Shikoku were indoctrinated, he's been indoctrinated himself to view them as villains. So that's like that's obviously. Yep.
Pose one scenario to you, and I'm not saying like he's a bad person, but is Hakuri entirely like of like like no guilt? Like is he, you know, was a part of the Rakuzaichi at some point? Not saying that's who he is. Like I know he's forced, but just from Soga's point of view, you know what I mean? Like he was a part of the Rakuzaichi, which is like a underground, like horrible thing. So I'm not saying Hakuri like myself, but just from Soga's point of view, that's kind of the thing. It's like he was a part of it. That automatically makes him like guilty.
I think there's kind of two things to that. Like one, dude wasn't even around. He's been stuck in a dungeon. Like he's only felt what the blades have allowed him to feel. And I mean, obviously he knows about Hakuri some way. So like, you know, to your credit, like he could know more. But also, he's just way too trigger happy. And like, yeah, I don't know why I expected any difference, like anything different. But I fear that there might not be like as much nuance to him, which is fine. I'm willing to see like what Hokazono's cooking. The one thing I did want to say, which I very much enjoy, is that again, like the way Soga sounds and like his sense of justice, which Tiberius, you've done a really good job talking about, is like it also makes Chihiro kind of like look bad in the sense of like, dude, the way Soga says the evildoers must be cold is kind of like not that different from how Chihiro was sounding all the way back in like the first couple of chapters, looking for the Hishaku, hell bent on like, you know, dragging the Hishaku to hell, all evildoers, you know, like Soga just has a different perception of what evildoers look like, right? But it kind of brings this into question, is like anybody can just kind of claim you as an evildoer and like you're justified in doing what you're doing just because something in the past kind of gives you that quote unquote validation. And again, these are all things that like Soga brings to the table and I really enjoy, even if at the moment he really is just looking like a trigger happy I don't want to say generic, but just like I just expected a little bit of more nuance to him, but at the same time it could kind of like make Yura look even better, because I wonder if we'll see a situation in the future, which again, Tiberius, you've brought up, of like Yura being like, oh shit, this guy isn't the hero I thought he was, you know. And that's also like a very interesting premise. So again, man, we say that Hokazono likes to have like a lot of cards on the table, and he continues to do so and keep us guessing.
Bro, I just find it funny how he essentially says that everybody around him is indoctrinated when he himself is indoctrinated into this ultra-nationalistic
That's how it
view.
be, though. That's how it be.
True.
It's like,
True.
wolf for thee, not for me, bro.
It's like the pot calling the kettle black, bro.
Yeah, like,
Whatever it was,
essentially, like, because come on, the view he has now, that was drilled into him throughout his life. That didn't come out of nowhere. Somebody told him to think that way, right? And now he's like, oh, Hakuri, we have to get rid of Hakuri because he was in the family. But he doesn't realize that Hakuri was abused in the family. He was against what the family was doing.
Exactly.
He doesn't care about that. He just calls you indoctrinated and goes trigger happy mode and starts killing people. And same with kids on the island.
Like, he's so aware of...
He himself is doing the same thing.
Oh yeah, it's always the thing, you know. It's, you know, like never they can't look at their they can't look objectively at their own actions.
Take a look
and shit,
in the mirror, boy.
It's perception, just like they said. It's all perception. Hey man, you littered? Did you just litter? Catch a butterfly. But one thing, he does bring up the patriarch of the Sazanabe, which is like interesting. Like,
yeah,
he's like, yeah, we cannot let this motherfucker walk around, like, cause he may one day like go back to his ways and, you know, birth more little ugly kids, and, you know, they may restart the Rakuzaichi. That's like, it's like he's like creating like future demons that don't exist. Yeah. And he's choosing to view people by that instead of like their actions of today, or like the persons.
I just wonder why Chihiro didn't bring up the fact that Hakuri helped him get rid of the clan. Like, would that change
his
the
pants,
guy?
He's shitting his pants, bro.
Yura got rid of the clan. Let's be real here. My goat.
He was against him as well.
I'm just like,
he was like, kill my dad, bro. Kill my dad.
Yura upscale. Speaking of people, like, I'm surprised they ain't fucking dead. Why is Samura alive?
Fuck.
God, this boy is like the most durable. He got the bird knocked out of him last chapter. This motherfucker is just durable as piss. And I love it though, because he's like, my blade can take your life, homie. And he says, I know. He's like, oh man, shucks, I know. But I gotta give it to Samura. Samura, like, I give him shit. It's just because for like the channel meme and the agenda. But
no, bro.
that motherfucker saved Chihiro, bro. He snapped Chihiro out of it, but Chihiro's gonna have to realize, bro, Samura's gonna get taken from you eventually. So you gotta lock in even when he ain't there. Because once Samura does pull up, that's what you know. Chihiro like goes to like lock in. You see his eyes like zone in, and he isn't as like shook anymore. Well, no, he does get shook by when that fucking blade gets unsheathed.
Oh, he definitely shook. Fuck you.
Yeah, because his eyes are like, oh shit, it's back.
Bro, Shiba felt it 5 kilometers away.
Bro, and the thing is that like, he's just like, man, Akamura chose not to practice the AI white purity because he hated Iso Shira. Hey, Iso Shirakai is a misogynist. Maybe he's cooking.
Oh, he's cooking.
Yo, by the way, Kunishige may have cooked too hard on that blade. We talked about Kunishige was like, I made it strong, but goddamn, I cooked way too hard.
Yeah, for sure. I do want to say, like, one cool thing about Samura, this chapter, is that, correct me, besides him coming back, like, unfortunately, I correct me if I'm wrong, but he was stated, even though he's second in terms of sword skills, he was stated, right, like back when we had the EI White Purity style reveal, that he has the fastest sword draw, right? So like that explains why, the sword master wasn't able to like, catch him before, he caught him. Like they ultimately clashed. And if the sword master is better, like you would think like, oh, but obviously Samura with the EI White Purity style, if I'm not getting that wrong, I don't think it was stated that he was the fastest sword. Right? Exactly.
But the thing is though, Soga's just playing around. Soga's just aura farming here. Like look, this motherfucker's like, you know what? Just for aura, I'm gonna turn into squiggly lines in the last spread for death, so I can look like death. I want to scare my opponent. His like new ability, motherfucker, liquid death.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, looks so intimidating, bro. In that last spread.
Like, all my favorite characters are getting punked here. It's wild.
Yeah, Shiba still is sitting in that bench.
Shiba stuck to the bench, bro.
Legends say every time he teleports, that bench will be attached to him.
He's gonna come in and throw a bench at him.
Yeah, it's gonna be like the fire hydrant. No, the fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher with Sukuna.
I thought you said fire hydrant. Maybe it should have been a fire hydrant.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. But no, shout out to Samura though. For Samura, like I ain't gonna lie, he got balls. He straight up shoved Soga.
Yeah. We gotta give Samura some credit for sure.
Why wouldn't he just stab him in the face?
Cause he's not built like that, bro.
Yeah, he's like, if I draw my sword, I'm dead. Bro. He shoves him.
He's gonna gently push you away.
Bro, I can't lie. Going back for a second in the chapter, I just want to say, this shit talking about his reaction says to destroy the enchanted blades. Soga's just like,
yeah.
You said it. Hey, you fucked up, bro. That moment is so funny. Bro.
Like, it's the best.
He's like, why did you have to say that of all things? You fucked up.
I want to say, like, I do think it's also cool, just so it doesn't go under the radar, even though it's clearly like very on the nose. Suzaku being the power of the Phoenix, and how Soga literally addresses it as such. I do wonder if like each enchanted blade has like that sort of like title, or like a callback to a specific legend or myth. I know it doesn't necessarily have to be the case, but I just thought it was so cold, and if that is the case, I do wonder what Soga's would be, right?
Butterfly, bro. Every time he uses butterfly, that song comes on. Come my baby, come my baby, get my sugar pie. Every time he unsheathes the thing, that's his theme. Come my lady.
He's just gonna grow wings and fly away.
Yeah, he's gonna be turned into a butterfree.
Well, exactly, because like think about that. Like that's like been like the coldest thing we've seen from the enchanted blades in terms of like this sort of like transformation.
If he grows butterfly wings, bro, I'm quitting this manga. I'm quitting, bro. If I see him like fluttering around like he's just on his like little fairy stuff, death fairy.
It could be cool. It could be cool. It could be cool.
You gonna be Butterfree Soga versus Mermaid Man fucking Chihiro. Is that our final battle really gonna be?
It could be cool. It could be like a majestic type thing. I don't know.
No, I can see it cooking like it's just like that liquid black, and it's like dripping the liquid every time it flaps its wings, and I could see it being hard. But I'm just I am memeing a bit because then because Samura did have the crow wings,
Yeah.
And then Sojo, he's just in a bathtub all the time, so the light dragon can't become one.
Bro, Sojo is just too busy beefing with 10-year-olds in the fucking bathtub or something.
Yeah, that guy's on a list somewhere, by the way.
Don't do my goat like that. Stop it. Nuh-uh.
That guy's on a list somewhere.
Hands with a kid. Like, can't deny it.
That fruit milk. You gonna drink your fruit milk?
I do want to ask you guys a question though, because it might it might be like an obvious setup. I'm wondering, but we see that the narration states unsheathed, the Magatsumi has more than just 3 powers, and Samura again narrates that we have yet to see its true essence, and it's pretty much right before the end of the chapter. So is that what we're gonna see next chapter? What do you guys think?
Well, the true essence of it, I think, is malediction. I think Soga synchronized with his blade more than anyone. I think he's like fully in tune with his sword.
Oh, so you're
almost
saying
the sword
Samura's
is
lying? So you're saying Samura's lying?
Well, no, I think no, because the butter.
I'm kidding.
We have. I'm about to say we have spider. We have cat. Centipede, butterfly, spider, and there's one more, right? Well, we know we got dragonfly.
Yeah. No, and you're right.
That's 4 already. So I think the true essence is malediction. I think that's like the fully, like him synchronized fully with his blade. That's its true essence, which, maybe every blade has like a true essence, and that's like the fully synchronized like version of like your fullest abilities.
Yeah, and he could literally be making like a direct callback to the malediction, which he has witnessed, right? Or at least like the remains of it.
Well, he was blind then. He was being fake blind then, so he didn't see it. But he felt it.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't. Even if he didn't see it,
he shit in his pants. He remembers it.
Yeah, so maybe he's being literal about like having to see its true essence, but I was just gonna say like maybe that's what he meant. Like he's felt it before, and what he's saying now is that like he has like they have yet to see that unleashed at this moment, because he knows that it very much could be possible. And dude, like out of Magatsumi, you see all sorts of shit. You see like fucking fireflies, butterflies, dragonflies, fucking ants, whatever you want to call it. It's like all sorts of shit.
Life.
Bro, literally, it's all sorts of shit.
It's that jar. It's like that poison where they put all the poisonous insects in one jar, and
the ritual
thing to come out. Yeah, it's like that. I think like that's him. He is the thing to come out that jar.
Yeah, like that bath. Yeah.
That's when Rami was meat watching.
If there's one more power on top of everything else, Shiba's gonna teleport his ass out of Japan and never come back.
Yeah, he's like, yo, Chihiro, you got this, fam.
Like, yeah, you got this, bro. I'm out. Bro's gonna clock out.
And don't tell Yuri I left either.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And we do see him. He does bring up the malediction in the next page where he says his ideology is too extreme. We have to stop him, or we'll experience another tragedy like the malediction. Yeah. So he speaks of the malediction more like an event, like not a move, because he calls it a tragedy. So that the malediction could just be what they call that, like that event.
I agree.
So maybe the named attack that created that
is not malediction.
Maybe there's another named attack that we just haven't met, and that's what brought on the event of the malediction.
Yeah, that could have that. Yeah.
It's like also like it could very well just be like Soga's true realm, right? And like the malediction, like you said, Ty, is just the title they gave to like the whole event. But it could just be like an amalgamation of every ability simultaneously being used. Who knows?
By the way, shout out to
I just find it
Chihiro.
funny, like in this panel when they're getting fired up to attack him, he's just like, Chihiro, stop. Like, just put the hand down.
Dude, Daddy, stop. Daddy, stop.
Daddy, chill. No. Don't do him like that. Stop it. Don't do him like that. I actually think it's cold.
Like that. He just said, bro, stop. Just
I
chill.
actually-
He's like, I don't want to have to kill you, bro. I ain't no killer, but don't
Like,
push.
there's
Well, I am
no
a killer. Don't push me.
Don't test me, kid.
You know I'm a killer. No, but
Whole
dude,
gang full of killers. I'm a killer too.
Yeah, I'm a
I-
whoop your
it's-
ass, bro.
it's so cold, bro, because like you see like Chihiro's, like obviously the panel of Chihiro's face, and Soga just says that like calm as fuck, bro, like as calm as he's like said anything that we've seen so far, and like Chihiro just grits his teeth, bro, like ooh, it's so
Soga's
cold.
like, Soga's like, bro, you're not built for this.
Literally, dude.
He's
Literally.
like, Daddy, chill.
Oh, Tiberius, stop it.
Yes.
That's the edit. I gotta edit that with fucking Soga's
Oh
face
my
on it.
God.
Daddy, chill.
Don't you
Yeah,
dare, bro.
fire chapter though. I loved it. I like Soga. It's, you know, he may not be as like deep of a character or nuanced, but like he is he's just strong conviction. We know what he is. I think we could believe what he says. Like he's not one to pull schemes. He's just gonna tell you what he's gonna do. You know, it's like that type of villain, and he
And he's
means
funny.
it. Oh boy, does he fucking mean it? He might be
He's
one of the
funny as
most
fuck, bro.
mean it fucking villains ever.
Yeah. I just find it hilarious how everybody shitting themselves and bro is just... It's like another day for him. Just another
Yeah,
day
he got
at
like
the
a
job.
song playing in his head. He's like,
Yeah, bro.
I got
Bro
my
his
head out the
fucking bro
sunroof.
got his
I'm
beats
blasting
on,
my
chilling to some
favorite
track, and they all just losing
yeah,
their
he's
shit.
listening to some some like K-pop song in his
Bro got
ears.
Taylor Swift on his ears, bro.
That's funny.
It's cool because like even above, like he's right above the ground and he's still levitating. If I'm not mistaken, like he levitated and then stepped down. It's so cool because this like motherfucker's just because he can. You know, you can just tell he's
Yeah.
like because I can.
Right? Motherfucker said, y'all want to see me turn in squiggly lines to scare you? And he does it.
Bro, he's like you said, he's carrying himself like a fucking god. So like,
Yeah, he knows he's that guy.
oh yeah, oh, for
I
sure.
bet he was
That
a
was
dick
like-
in high school. Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I could tell he was a dick
It's
in high
sort of
school.
like the outfit change last chapter as well. I was like, I'm not gonna wear no suit. I'm
The
gonna
fuck I
dress
look
properly
like?
like a swordsman.
Yeah. He's like, I can't aura farm in a suit like I want to. I
Yeah.
can't turn into squiggly lines in a suit like this.
Yeah, bro.
I need my little cape to fly and flutter away.
Exactly that.
That's the only reason. He's like, aura farm.
It's the only reason to aura farm on them.
Like I said last week, what if he got knocked into a Forever 21? He just came out in a belly shirt. He's like, I prefer that more than a suit. And he would still look badass. And the shirt would say like, no regrets.
Jesus.
Alright, that's all I got for the chapter. I don't know if y'all have anything y'all want to share before we hop off.
We didn't. I like had put a note down, but we didn't really get to it. I thought it was cool that the name of the chapter was Karma, because that's at least the way I interpret it. It's like that's Soga right now. You know, karma for what he feels like Kunishige did wrong. It's just my immediate interpretation. So just a fine detail. But besides that, not really, man. I thought it was a cool chapter. Even if, like you said, even if Soga might be pretty straightforward in like his approach as a villain, I do think that what he brings to the table in terms of like the conversation around him because of his ideals, because of his sense of justice, is like good for the overall story. And
I need to see him interact with Hirohiko, or seeing him with Sojo, and Sojo's like, I love Kunishige. Those are weapons of mass destruction. God, I would have paid to see that.
Oh, for sure, bro. I do wonder if there's still like, you know, the connection that people have been waiting for, whether it was because Sojo witnessed the Magatsumi's abilities or whatever. But yeah,
He's
man.
like, what happened to my son Sojo? Whatever happened to him? He just like says that.
But I'm starting to miss Yura already, man. I'll just say that. I will say that.
Yeah, I miss him every night I go to sleep.
I'm missing him already, dude.
I lay
He
down
was
in my
just
bed with
different.
my Yura body pillow and I just cry.
Argo was just different, man. I'm saying, bro.
He really was. Jello, any last thoughts?
Yeah, I think it was a great chapter. Honestly, we kind of spoke previously about how this conversation could go, and I'm satisfied with what we got. To be honest, I find him. I'm not gonna lie. I find this guy funny. Like the way
He
he
is.
like the entire presence and the way he just talks to people and acts, how he switches from being this absolute vicious bastard to, oh yeah, I'm your uncle, you were this big and I bought you that. It's just hilarious.
And to him, it's just a Thursday, you know.
Yeah,
True, yeah.
it's so honestly entertaining, and I'm ready to see more of him, honestly. However, I will admit, I would like to have Yura alongside him, because those conversations,
You're
I would love
You're
them
be
to
on the
just talk
sideline,
shit all the
Daddy,
time.
Daddy, chill.
Like, not here. Chill out.
Daddy, chill.
Let him live.
Yeah, no, Yura and him would be a good duo, but like I you know, I don't know if we're gonna get it. Like I said,
Yeah,
maybe
we'll see.
Yura's gonna witness. Maybe Yura's gonna like witness what type of person he really is.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh no, this guy, he was just getting started. Like the corruption was just getting started. Now that he's back, he's now gonna be on a roll, and it's just gonna continuously like eat his ass up. And then Soga's just gonna be a different like calamity by the end, you know, like where he can't even control his power, where it's just like leaking out of him, and Yura's like fighting from within to help Chihiro.
Yeah, you're like, go back to your own body, boom.
Yeah, he's like, bro, come back down to the pit. This place sucks. There's no bitches down here.
Caught me off guard, bro.
All right. Well, that'll do it. By the way, I didn't check to see. I don't think there's a chapter next week, right?
I think it's on break. I'm not sure, but I saw on
I'm
Twitter
looking it
people
up.
speaking of.
Yeah, January 4th is the next chapter. This is the last chapter of the year.
Oh
For
shit.
2025 for Kagurabachi, our first community guest to wrap the year up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it had to be Jello, but hey, we get what we get. I'm just playing.
It was a great year
He's
for
the hero.
Kagurabachi though.
He's the Hirohiko of
Yeah, I'm the
Hishaku
twink
Hideout.
of the Hishaku Hideout. The twink of Hishaku Hideout.
Yo, I wonder, Hakure's probably like fighting for his life against Hokuto still, like trying to like avoid getting clapped.
Can't catch a break, bro.
Honestly.
Yeah, Hoki, next thing you know, he like thinks he pulls like a badass boss move. Hokuto's running at him. Like, God
Bro,
damn, I
imagine-
chose the wrong place to go.
Bro, imagine he turns around and there's just Soga standing behind him, be like, "Sup, boy?"
He's like, hey. He's like, you're that brat? You're that twink that's cool with my my nephew? Don't play around my nephew.
He's gonna show up like Hokuto, literally.
Yeah, he's just gonna be chilling with his arm on him. He's like, hey, bro, that's a cool outfit you got. Cause you know, Haku wears those like old style, like.
Yeah.
He's
Fortunately
like,
though.
mine's got ripped up, beaten up on a fake blind man. Can I have yours? What size you wear? All right, guys. But so I mean, maybe me and Dice will talk about doing something next Sunday. We'll put up a
live
community
stream.
post and let y'all know. Ooh, maybe. If
Yeah.
Dice doesn't hate me, because Dice be hating me every Sunday for some reason.
We'll come up with something for sure.
See, like he doesn't even deny it anymore. When we get as soon as we get on voice chat, bro, he spits on the mic. He literally spits on his own computer and microphone just to let me know that's how much he hates me,
Nah, I'm all love. What you talking about?
and I like it.
Wait, what?
Chill. Let's get out of here, man.
Daddy, chill. All right, y'all.
Furious.
Peace.
Freak
Peace.
yeah.